Timta, Anuki Sayut Shilta, Maku Shil Atsekata Am Shil Yamasi Nuwabiyanat, Wahaza Kalun, Hasa Hag, Atnedmea Arbedin Talid. Greetings. I'm Plenipotentiary of Earth, Chief Nanu Shabu El of the Atsekata Nation of Yamasee Moors, and this is Now Fact number 243. This Now Fact is brought to you courtesy of Get In Here, Get In Here, Get In Here. Gatti Boy on TikTok. They're going to have to start acknowledging the original indigenous on the planet are Egyptian.
Man, get in here, get in here, get in here. I know it's been like 5 days, but I've been looking up this lady, and she had a F around and found out moment on who we really are. So this lady, Sarah, she worked for University of Pennsylvania. And her colleagues coined this so-called blood type of us back to Adam. But it gets way more deeper than what you about to find out. Hey, I couldn't make this up even if I tried. Even if I tried. I just went down a rabbit hole for my people. I just went down a rabbit hole. And it's going to be a long video. So if you're not for this long video, please move around. But they had a mess around and found out moment when you should have just left it alone. But let's go down this rabbit hole, man. Hey, if you'd like to donate $1, I greatly appreciate it. But let's watch these receipts about to blow your mind. Now, you can read a little bit. Right here, Sarah, she worked for the University of Pennsylvania. She published a study of the so-called makeup African population, including African Americans, to identifying the prevalence of the E1b1a haplogroup within them, right? So they keep trying to put us back in Africa, but what they discovered is more than what I even thought. I thought I knew it all. But watch these receipts. Go on and take a screenshot. But let's continue. Now, the first discovery, they discovered that we is almost 400,000 years old, so-called African-American man, pushed back with the Y chromosome, and they named it Adam of the Bible. Adam, we was first. They're saying, go and take a screenshot, and this is what they're saying, right? This is what they're.
So 338,000 years ago, and identified a unique Y chromosome lineage from an African American man. 338,000 years ago, Y chromosome.
They're saying, right? And they said that this Y chromosome lineage led to this. New estimate was found in an African American individual, right? But it's individuals with an S. Now, when they looked up this gene, they thought they were seeing things. They was like, is we seeing what we seeing? Because something is not right. Now, what they said is some African Americans have discovered that they are descendants from the ancient Egyptian pharaoh Ramses III, right? This is what they said. A legal analyst, criminal defense investigators who discovered his ancient perennial lineage to Ramses III, okay? That's just a tip of the iceberg, but let's continue. Now, this is what they discovered by accident. Now, take a screenshot first. But then they said, okay, according to recent DNA studies, some African Americans exhibit genetic connections to ancient Egyptian populations, including Pharaoh like Ramses III, indicating a shared ancestry with the Near East region. Okay? But you can read all this. But then down here, They say genetic similarities to the Near East. They said that DNA analysts of ancient Egyptian mummies show strong genetic link, right? Modern day Israel, Lebanon, Jordan, then to so-called modern sub-Saharan African, right? Right? Some African Americans share Y chromosome haplogroups like so-called E1b1b, whichever that is, right? And these are some of the mommies that they tested that showed that we connected to them. But let's continue. Then it went a little more farther. The E1b1a haplogroup is found in some African Americans and in peoples with ancient ties to the Israelites. In 2007, 6% of African American sample had E1b1a haplogroup. Whoa. But not only that, E1b1a in peoples with ancient ties to the Israelites. E1b1a haplogroup is found in modern populations like Mizrahi Jews, whatever, Palestinians, this, that. Then they say mention in the Bible during the Exodus from Egypt. They went all the way back, as you can see, to the Bible. They went back. That's what they're saying. We are the peoples of the Bible. Now, it gets a little more crazier. You thought that was the end of it? Nope. The E1b1a haplogroup is found in some peoples with Hebrew ancestry, but is not a specific genetic marker for Hebrew ancestry. That's why you gotta go there. Why is this marker there, but we so-called not that? Stop your lying. You had a mess around and found out moment when you should have left things alone. Now, I say that to say this. You keep trying to put us back in Africa when we are the birth of the whole world, because our peoples went out from here, went out there. This is why we all look alike, and them Africans is nothing but Africans. And we are a totally different race, that our peoples went to all the different tribes, like the Bible says, 4 corners of the earth. You fucked around and found out, didn't you? Just leave it alone, man. So if you'd like to donate $1, I greatly appreciate it.
So,
man, get in here. I'm about to reveal.
Yeah. So, this is going to create a very, very powerful economic and monetary change on the planet. It has to. You can't go into DNA, into genetics, and then ignore it in commerce. That it doesn't work that way. So I'm going to pull up some further searching on the haplotype. This is for people who are not too familiar with the terminology. So haplogroup E1b1a, also known as E-V38, is a major human Y chromosome DNA haplogroup primarily found in Africa, particularly among Niger, Congo-speaking populations, with some presence in the African diaspora. Now, this is Google AI. This is not the same as what we just saw on the TikTok video. So haplogroup E1b1a is a branch of the larger Y chromosome haplogroup E, specifically the E1b1 branch, which is characterized by the presence of the SMP mutation V38. Remember, the Y chromosome is a mutated X. And the Y chromosome is not indigenous to this planet. It doesn't come from here. It's the first one here. And when we go, what do we see? Haplogroup E is one of the oldest haplogroups. Y DNA haplogroup E, E1b1b and E1b1a. This is November 10th, 2021 by Jane Eakins. So the Y DNA is the most common Y chromosome haplogroup in Africa. If you go to yourdnaguide.com, this is where I found it. So here's the chart. Here's the haplogroups. And then what's interesting is we see an S&P EM215. The sub-branch in Europe. So what I also found out is that they have TE, and the other haplogroup was J. And this is haplogroup J. Great. So haplogroup T is the Y chromosome. And these are different. These are all underneath the haplogroup. If we go back to this one here, you see the list. You zoom into for, there we go. So you see haplogroup E, you got A, B, D, E, C, F, G. And then when you start getting into the M's, you have N here, you have M back here. So that shows how old the E is and how young the other haplogroups behind that are. So here they're saying 25,000 years ago. That's for haplotype T. For haplotype E, is defined by mutation M40 is the most common human Y chromosome clade within Africa. Then we have haplogroup J. Now, what's interesting about this, JM267 is found in the Arabian Peninsula. So all the people who are calling themselves Jews, they don't have the haplotype. The real ones are the African-American people, the Caribbean. And it's not restricted to there. It's all over. So as we can see here, when I have talked about having the race and ethnicity is important, the US government, CDC, NIH, all of them have inadvertently acknowledged that people with copper color, carbon skinned, dark skin, olive tone are actually the white people, because the definition for white is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. This is where your E1b1s are. And so the African Americans are not black racial groups of Africa, they're actually white. So what you do need to do is you need to get on my webinar and I show you how to navigate through this being white. Much appreciation to Gatti Boy. However, your business and commercial contracts must have white on them, and you have to know how to live white, defend it, explain it, and conduct yourself accordingly. Kashikadur, Kashikadur, Kashikadur. White power, white power, white power.